Hello class, this is Demetrius Wilson with Business Marketing. We're now on Chapter 12, Place. The distribution channels is the main topic that we'll be discussing in Chapter 12 all throughout. Learning objectives. So as you go through Chapter 12 in your textbook, I want you to focus on these four main points, not to leave everything else out, but these are the main objectives that you're looking at. So I want you to be able to explain what channels of distribution are and why organizations use them. Number two, I want you to explain how channels affect the marketing of products and services. Or products and services combined. Number three, I want you to describe the types of retailers and explain how they are used as a channel of distribution. And number four, I want you to explain how integrated supply chain management supports an effective distribution strategy. I was somewhat surprised by this market share picture, but this was in I believe in 2014, so I believe it probably should have changed drastically since then. But at that time, Red Bull had 43% of the energy drink market share. Monster at 39%. Rockstar was way down here at 10%. Maybe that's one assignments that we can make is to look up the most recent figures because I'm sure this has changed. Me personally, if I were to get an energy drink, I would get a Monster before any of the other drinks. Probably get a Red Bull after that and then a Rockstar from there. But then you have Coke, Nas, and Pepsi Amp down here at 3%. But we'll look at that and see if any of that's changed now that it's 2016. But that's that's quite interesting. You see how companies that you haven't even heard of. Red Bull was there first, and you see they have a lot of branding in terms of BMX and a lot of action sports. Monster and Rockstar, you see the vans riding around. So it's interesting to see how each of these companies have secured a portion of that market share. So these are five important flows that you need to pay attention to. Product flow, negotiation flow, ownership flow, information flow, and promotion flow, which we'll see on this slide right after it. The movement, this is product flow, is the movement of physical product from the manufacturer through all the parties who take physical possession of the product until it reaches the ultimate consumer. So that means everybody involved, everybody who's actually touching the product is included in the product flow. And maybe I'll toggle back and forth between these two because you see in the product flow, it goes from the manufacturer to the transportation company to the public warehouse to the transportation company, right? Because it had to go in and had to come out, right? And then it goes to the bottlers and distributors, and then supermarkets, and then to the consumers, right? So if it's the product flow, it's everybody involved. Now the next two, negotiation and ownership flow, everybody's not involved. The institutions for negotiation flows and institutions that are associated with the actual exchange process. As you can see, transportation company, public warehouse, and transportation company, which might be the same transportation company, are not involved in the ownership. So that big chunk right there is removed. Negotiation flow goes straight from the manufacturer to the bottlers, distributors, and supermarkets, and then to the consumer, right? That's how those flows go. Same with ownership flow, the movement of title through the channel. That means title means that someone owns it or owns a bulk shipment of it. Number four is the information flow, the individuals who participate in the flow of information either up or down the channel, right? And so again, that goes back to including the transportation, public warehouse, and transportation company. So now all factors within the flow are contained in the information flow and also the product flow. But in the negotiation ownership flow, we're missing the transportation company and the public warehouse. Promotion flow is a little bit different. It's a flow of persuasive communication in the form of advertising, personal selling, sales, promotions, and public relations. If you're manufacturing, you're going to pump up and, advertise your product. Advertising agencies are used in order to do so, right? The bottlers and distributors, they are doing the same because they want people to purchase the products. Supermarkets, obviously you see in their ads that they're saying, hey, Monster beverages are here for sale, for $1.99 or something like that. And then all the way down to the consumer, right? So be sure that you not only look at the description, but also look at the visual effects so that you know and understand what things are missing, right? Promotion flow, there's no promotion that has to do with transportation. They're just getting things and products from A to B. The five flows are product flow, negotiation, ownership, information, and promotion flow, specifically in terms of Coke, meaning Coca-Cola. The bottlers receive and process the bases and syrups. That's number one, what you do with the product. Number two, negotiation flow. The bottlers buy, concentrate, sell product, and collect revenue from customers. All right, so those are different things that they do. Ownership flow. Distributors acquire the title of syrups and own the product until it's sold to the supermarkets, right? So you hold the title until it's sold to the actual supermarket. So for that little interim time, you actually own it. Information flow. Bottlers communicate product options to customers and communicate demand and needs to Coca-Cola. And then finally, the promotion flow. The bottlers communicate benefits and provide promotional materials to customers, right? With coupons, things on sales papers, everything like that. The marketing channel, which is obviously a little bit different. So if you go direct, like they say, direct marketing, like a Kirby vacuum, we make the vacuum and then we sell it. So it goes from the producer straight to the consumer. Retail channel, it goes from the producer. Let's say I make a Dyson vacuum and it goes to the retailer. Well, let's say it's Best Buy, and then it goes to the consumer. You come in because you need a vacuum, right? So Dyson goes to Best Buy, goes to you. Wholesale channel, so it goes from the producer to the wholesaler to the distributor, and then it goes to the retailer, right? So, go to one of those wholesale places, and they'll probably sell that to the retailer, right? So they're going to sell it from there to Best Buy, and then it goes to you. And then the agent channel, the only difference with this is that you add in an agent or a broker, right? So they're brokering that relationship. So the producer makes it, maybe they take title, but they get it over to the wholesaler and distributor because they have some type of relationship with them. They get it to the retailer, get it to Best Buy, and then they get it to you. This is always interesting, but again, it's 2014 sales. I'm sure this has shifted. I believe that, probably I would see Target further up on the list. Maybe those are two things that we'll research to where they stand in 2016. So Walmart, 334 million in sales. Then the Kroger company, for those of you out here that don't know, Kroger owns like Ralph's. When I went to school in Ohio, I was like, where's the grocery store? I went in, it was Kroger. I was like, this looks just like Ralph's. It's because they own them. All familiar with Costco. And you see Walmart stores is on here. So that I'm assuming that means Walmart and Sam's Club's included. But Costco is its own standalone, type of company for that. Sorry about that. Go off that slide. Let's get back to that. They're their own standalone company and that right in terms of Costco, Home Depot, Walgreens, Target, CVS, or Caremark, who we talked about was the first, the type of, retail drugstore that took out cigarettes from behind the counter. Lowe's companies, Amazon.com, moving right up the list. I'm sure they're much higher now in 2016, and then Safeway. So that's probably something that we'll do is, we'll probably look at this list right here and look at the market share for energy drinks and possibly look at retail sales altogether in the United States and kind of see where they stand. Well, that's it for Chapter 12. Like I said, short and sweet. Be sure to take your quiz, check out any applicable homework assignments, anything else that is there for you to review and or update for Chapter 12. As always, I want you guys to all have a good day and a great week.